What makes a hero? Often it's taking one more step when you're not sure if it'll make a difference, but you do it anyway. Or saying one more word, even when you're not sure anyone's listening. Or singing one more song, or crying one more tear until there is peace on earth for everyone. One day this will all change. One day we will all be free. One day we will all be valued. Sometimes what makes a hero is standing up, and sometimes what makes a hero is sitting down, like Rosa Parks and those who sat in at lunch counters during the Civil Rights Movement. Heroes are made in many different ways. Today, I want to talk about a certain kind of hero. Some people say that the batter who hit the home run to win the championship was a hero. Some people say that the person who scored the winning touchdown in football was a hero. But I'm not talking about that kind of hero. I'm talking about a very specific kind of hero. A few weeks ago, my daughter Lila and I drove to Alabama to see her birth mother and her biological brother and sister. For those of you who don't know my daughter, she's 10 years old, and my wife and I adopted her the day she was born. It's an open adoption, which means that we stay in relationship with her birth family, who've become very special to us. Lila is African American, and sometimes when people look at us, they're not sure right away if we're who we are. Are we father and daughter, or what's our relationship to each other? But when people see us together for a while, they see the love that's between us, and they know. Of course, there's no doubt in my mind that I'm her dad, and none in hers either. Now, I've had two biological children and one adopted. I used to wonder if the love and the connection would feel different between biological children and adopted ones. And I've been pleasantly surprised that it does not. Many people believe that God or the universe give us the children who we're meant to have. It certainly feels that way to me. So back to my story. Here we were, Lila and I, on this road trip through the South, and we stopped overnight in Memphis. We decided to go to the Civil Rights Museum at the Laramie Hotel, which is the place where Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in 1968, 51 years ago. It's a phenomenal museum. If you haven't been there, I recommend it. And it was particularly poignant for us because we saw how people marched and struggled and went to jail and even died so that we could be each other's father and daughter, so that our family could exist. Of course, they weren't doing it for us specifically. But if they did not do what they did, and some of you who were there, who did as well, then it would be very unlikely that we could have the family that we have. So standing there, right next to the balcony where Dr. King was giving a speech one night when he went to Memphis to help the sanitation workers with their strike, and he was standing out there on the balcony of the hotel greeting the people, because if people came, they heard he was in town and they surrounded the hotel and they wanted to hear him speak, and so they asked him to come out, and he came out and he spoke, and unfortunately there was someone there who took his life. But standing there, right there at that balcony, I felt this incredible energy through my whole body. It was unmistakable. It's a sacred place. I felt like a pilgrim going on a journey to a holy site. So Martin Luther King Jr. is one of my most cherished heroes. He risked his life. He went to jail. He faced many difficulties in order to help all of us, black and white and every color, to be free of segregation and separation and inequality. A hero, by my definition, is someone who risks something of their own to help someone else. At the Civil Rights Museum, there were so many people and so many stories of those who sacrificed so that our family could exist, so that our church could exist, so that our nation could live a little closer to its promise and its dream. Of course, we've heard Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Ruby Bridges and Medgar Evers and Malcolm X and some of the names we know really well. But there are so many others whose names are not very well known or unknown, but who went to jail, who marched, who were hurt, who risked their jobs or their livelihoods for equality. Now, some people treat me and my wife as if we're heroes for adopting Lila. That is a complete misunderstanding. We adopted her as much for ourselves and our happiness as for her or anyone else. There's nothing heroic in it at all. We didn't sacrifice anything. In fact, we gained so much. A daughter, one of the greatest gifts of our entire lives. We are no more heroic than any parent who raises a child, and there's certainly some heroic sacrifices that go along with parenthood. Children who are here, remember, your parents do a lot. So back to our trip. When we were visiting Lila's birth family, because I'm a minister, they asked me on Sunday morning if I would conduct a little family service there in their home with all of us. Now, they're Christians, so I asked them if they had a Bible, and I had the three children read the story of Moses from the Bible. Now, according to the Bible, when Moses was born, there was a decree from the Pharaoh of Egypt, it was like the king of Egypt, that said that they should kill every male Hebrew child that's born. Now, they were Hebrews, so Moses' mother, not wanting anything to happen to harm her baby, placed Moses in a basket and put him in the river, hoping that someone would find him and keep him safe. That morning, when the Pharaoh's daughter went down to the river to wash up, she saw the basket with this beautiful baby. And she immediately fell in love and said, I want to raise this child and make him my own. So she adopted him. Then she went to find a nursemaid to help feed and take care of Moses. Not knowing who she was, Pharaoh's daughter chose Moses' biological mother to be his nursemaid. It was the first open adoption. Moses was adopted by Pharaoh's daughter, but he stayed connected to his birth mother. After we read the story, I explained that adoption, even open adoption, is as old as the Bible. So what we're doing as a family with the open adoption is not something new or some strange thing, but it's as old as time. Some people would even argue it's part of how God makes families. Why am I telling you all this morning? Because Moses was a border walker. because he was both Hebrew and he was raised by the Egyptian Pharaoh. He understood a lot about life, a lot that other people didn't have a chance to see or understand. Now, if you know the rest of the story, Moses led his people, the Hebrews, out of slavery and to the promised land. I would also say he helped to lead the Egyptians out of slavery too, out of being slavers. Well, Martin Luther King Jr. was also a border walker. He was African American. He was raised in the segregated South under the Jim Crow laws, but he went north and he studied in some of the best schools of higher education. Martin Luther King understood both worlds, the world of African Americans living in the South and of the dominant white world of higher education in the North. And he too led his people, all of us, America, closer to its promise of justice and equality for all people. Now, we still have work to do in order to get to the promised land of equality. And that's why we need more border walkers, people who can see different worlds and understand different cultures and religions. So that's what we do here at All Souls. We learn about different religions. We bring people together from different backgrounds. We are border walkers. So I want to close with an example that I learned from a man named Dr. Itzhak Adizes, who explained that even though the hand has 5 fingers, one of these fingers is a lot more important than the rest. You see, the first 4 fingers, these 4 fingers, they can't really do much. They can't really do much together. You know, try that. If you just sort of try to, you can't really do that much with these 4. But the thumb, now with the thumb can interact with every other finger on the hand. So it's the thumb that unites the hand and makes the hand valuable and usable and special. So what Dr. Adizes explained was that in the Middle East, where Moses came from, when people are mad at somebody and they want to curse somebody, they put their hand out like this and they say a curse on the person, that something bad happens to them or something like that, and they put their hand out like this when they're separated. It's a curse. But also in the Middle East, where Moses came from, when they bless somebody, they put their fingers together on the hand and they bless you, bless you. May you be blessed. Bless you. That's the difference between being separated and being together. The world needs thumbs. The world needs border walkers who can understand lots of different people and interact with lots of different cultures and religions and beliefs, because with that, we can unite the hand into one. And humanity divided, that can't understand each other, that can't be together, is a curse on the world. And a hand that is together is a blessing. Your job, all of our work, is to be a thumb, to be a border walker, to be a person who understands differences and helps unite the human family as one. So as we celebrate one of America's greatest heroes this weekend, one of the best ways that we can do it is to become border walkers ourselves. Otherwise, the world will be made up of a bunch of fingers that can't really do much together, and it won't function really well. The dream that we've been singing about all morning is a world in which people can get along and live in peace and understand that ultimately we are all one. If you become a border walker, you will help us live the dream. It begins by taking one more step, saying one more word, singing one more song, crying one more tear. Whatever it takes to make peace on earth a reality. I love you. Amen. We shall
you're visiting with us online today. We love connecting with people all across the country and around the world, sharing our powerful message of love beyond belief.
There's something new happening here. You can now join All Souls as a virtual member. Our virtual membership is designed for friends who live outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and who want to engage with All Souls in a meaningful way.
You can be part of an expanding family, a global family really, wherever you are. If you live in Oklahoma,
Ohio,
or Orange County, California,
Canada,
or Cameroon. By becoming a virtual member, you'll be able to deepen your connections with members and friends here in Tulsa and with members wherever you are.
Each week, you'll receive special All Souls content tailored for you, our virtual members. Virtual members have access to pastoral care, to personal prayers, and also receive invitations to exclusive web events.
You can learn more, and if you're ready, you can become a virtual member today by visiting allsoulschurch.org/virtual membership.
We're grateful our ministries are having a positive impact on your life, and we want to share the good news of love beyond belief with more and more people. So no matter what, we need your support to keep this ministry growing and thriving, so please consider making a gift today. You can do so by texting
Love BB for Love Beyond Belief to 73256, or simply visit our website. You are a blessing in our lives. May you be blessed
and be a blessing.